Velkommen til Urix, som vi starter i Europas siste diktatur, Hviterussland. Der har president Aleksandr Lukasjenko sittet ved makten i snart 20 år, i et land der befolkningen blir truet og forfulgt hvis de opponerer. Men noen forsøker å protestere på en annen måte enn andre, som Friteatergruppen som siden 2005 har forsøkt å bruke teatret sitt i kampen mot diktatoren. Nå det laget film om dem, og det sier sitt at alt som filmet i Hviterusslands hovedstad Minsk måtte smugles ut før det skulle publiseres.
В диктатуре жить не тяжело. В Беларуси не надо ни о чем думать, не надо принимать решения. Никаких проблем.
På kreative måter forsøker den hviterussiske friteatergruppa å vise hvordan det å leve i et diktatur. Teatergruppa ble dannet i 2005 som en reaksjon på president Aleksandr Lukasjenkas eneveldige styre.
В 1994 году к власти пришел Лукашенко. Жуть в том, что рассказать больше нечего.
My husband, he was a journalist, and all his 3 newspapers were closed down.
У нас нету честного телевидения. Вот включить любую программу белорусского телевидения, она будет про то, как у нас хорошо, и про то, как везде плохо.
Все государство подчинено одному человеку. Вот действительно он может запросто сказать, что он делает. Государство – это я.
Hvor teatergruppa opptrer forandrer seg fra gang til gang. For både publikum og skuespillere risikerer hele tiden å bli arrestert.
Здравствуйте. Кто из вас свободный театр? А кто из вас взял паспорта с собой? Ничего не предвидится, но на всякий случай. Пойдемте. А там сзади что у вас? Местечко еще 1-2? Можете уже поплотнее знакомиться друг с другом, на руки берите. Там одно.
Med sterke virkemidler får de budskapet frem.
Сколько раз они тебя изнасиловали, а?
Я не знаю.
После этого ты считаешь, что мы должны сидеть в конце? Ты красивая женщина. Вернее, была красивая. Скорее всего, я себя отпущу отсюда. Ну, пока суд до дела, ты всех нас можешь тут немножко поразвлечь.
Under presidentvalget i 2010 trodde mange at diktaturets dager i Hviterussland gikk mot slutten. Opposisjonen fikk for første gang drive valgkamp. Den mest populære kandidaten var Andrei Sannikov.
Finally, Belarusian democratic forces have leaders. Andrei Sannikov is one of the strongest. We've been supporting him from the very beginning.
И у нас сегодня у всех нас есть шанс избавиться от постыдного режима, сменить его.
Men slik gikk det ikke. Sannikov ble istedenfor fengslet.
There is a joke in Belarus when the head of electoral committee is coming to Lukashenko and saying, we have bad news and good news. Which to start? Good news. Then you are the president again. So what's the bad news? Nobody voted for you. So this is exactly what's happened on December 19, 2010. Elections were falsified.
Og folk reagerte. Men til ingen nytte. Etter dette strammet myndighetene til. Grunnleggerne av teatergruppa lever nå i eksil i London. Men de fortsetter å jobbe med skuespillerne i Minsk over Skype. Og de støttes av kjente skuespillere over hele verden.
I hope that human beings all over the world will pay attention to what's happening in Belarus.
Ну а как дальше это будет, никто не знает.
Kampen fortsetter.
Andrei Sannikov, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
As we just saw, you were one of the opposition candidates in the elections in Belarus in 2010. And then you were thrown into jail afterwards. What happened?
Well, I think that Lukashenko saw the real figures, because we don't have election in Belarus for many years, starting from 1994, when Lukashenko was actually democratically elected. And this time the opposition managed to conduct a very intensive, very active campaign, and it was vivid that people reject Lukashenko and they support alternative to Lukashenko. And I think that he simply got scared, and he, despite the attempt to portray himself as a softer dictator on the eve of the election, he actually broke down, and he personally ordered to use violence against peaceful demonstration and put us in prison.
Did he give you a reason for putting you in prison?
Yes, so the reason was given in the court, which is not independent in Belarus, and I was guilty or found guilty of organizing mass disorder.
So then in April 2012, you were pardoned and released. Why did he do that, do you think?
Because of the pressure of the European Union, of the United States. And me and my friend and campaign manager, Dmitry Bondarenko, were released because sanctions were introduced in March. And unfortunately, the European Union stopped introducing the sanctions, and that's why prominent figures in Belarus are still in jail, like Ales Beliatsky, human rights defender, like my friend and colleague Nikolai Statkevich, also as a presidential candidate in Belarus.
You are currently living in Warsaw in exile, and how can you pursue your political career from there, or can you?
It's difficult to live outside the country because I never thought I would be living in another country. I was born in Belarus, I lived in Belarus. Actually, that was what irritated my torturers most of all, when I said it's my country, it's my city, and I want to be here. But it's easier to some extent because there is not such pressure as opposition figures face in Belarus, with constant surveillance, harassment, intimidation. So I'm able to pursue my activities, whatever I'm doing, and I'm doing everything to free my country from dictatorship.
In your opinion, what are the main challenges for Belarus now?
Dictatorship. That's the only challenge that we face. And it's clear now that the development of the country has been stopped for many years. It is lagging behind even our neighbors that are not so democratic. I mean, Russia and Ukraine. And that's the only obstacle to the normal development of the country.
For nearly 20 years now, Lukashenko has been the president. How long can he cling to power?
Well, let's say that he is not a lawful head of the state, because I mentioned that since 1994, we never had any referendum or election which were not rigged. They all were rigged, and it's not my opinion. It's recognized by international community and by certified international observers that were invited in Belarus by Lukashenko himself. So it all depends on not only on us, because there are brave people in Belarus who are fighting not less resolutely as Ukrainians, because I think it all started from Belarus in 2010, I mean this protest wave, but also on our friends and partners and those who would like to see Belarus a democratic country but are now living in Europe. We need the help, we need the solidarity.
Andrei Sannikov, thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you for inviting me.